Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, just want to go over the apparent bull flag that we do have forming on the Bitcoin chart. Of course, how Bitcoin moves will determine how the rest of the coins in the market go. And not everything is going to pump. There just isn't that much money in the system right now. So some of these altcoins may just be flat. Some of them may be pumping with Bitcoin, and it's really kind of hit or miss. So a lot of people are just trading Bitcoin right now, and that's okay because Bitcoin has put in a pretty sizable pump around 20% since we kind of double bottomed back here a few days ago when we started to set up bullish trade scenarios. And of course, we did get significant wins off of those areas. Of course, right now we are just in the middle of this bull flag, so where you would want to enter would probably be along the support and then have some type of stop loss below that support. You probably don't just want to enter in the middle of the range. Of course, we entered our trades down here, and we had actually three take profit points, all of which were squarely hit, and so a pretty successful trade week for the Alpha Fam. Now, what we're doing is setting up a bonus take profit area 4, which basically would correspond to many of these different shapes that we've seen, many of these different patterns that we've seen on the chart. And so I'll just point out a couple of them for you. So first we had this broadening descending wedge here, and the measured move was basically up to here. And we more or less hit that target, right? We got right into that area and were able to front run those profits. Even seeing this, quite a whiles ago, it was almost about 2 weeks ago, we could still eyeball that area as a potential broadening wedge target, once this pattern fully resolved itself. Of course, along the way, we did have this upside down Adam and Eve pattern, which the measured move was down here. And, we were able to catch that trade and, perfect. If you wanted to short that, that would have been great. Of course, it did put in a double bottom pattern. It had kind of this weird fake out in between that just kind of made the market very jittery, but it had to do with the end of the month contract expirations and just the various whales and groups and institutions just trying to reduce their liabilities. But anyway, the measured move was hit, and we were able to grab this trade. And then, if you were just a little bit late, you were able to grab this one. And what you could see here was that there was, in fact, a head and shoulders, an inverted head and shoulders, which had a measured move up here. Of course, that was our take profit area. And, just to be on the safe side, we did also have, a kind of a descending, slope here. So we took a profit one here. We took profit two here, which would be at kind of this resistance area. And then, of course, the targets for all of our formations were more or less in the same region up here. And so that was our take profit three. And if you were able to play these moves with us, then I think you were highly successful over the last 2 weeks of trading. And so that's the value of sticking together in these bear markets. Of course, we can have conversations with each other. There's a link in the description of this video if you'd like to join the Alpha Commission Discord. Of course, the whole point of the capitulation of the market is to shake people out of the market. So, the place is going to be rather dead. Most of the, crypto Twitter and, crypto YouTube, all of these crypto spaces are pretty much dead. But those of you who are still around and want to stick around, of course, it makes sense because you guys are going to be able to catch the bottom or at least the confirmations of the bottom. And so you guys are going to get in on the best prices before everyone else. And that's why it really makes sense to stick around during bear markets, and that's why I'm trying to improve myself by improving my trading and developing these skills and also improving my communication during the bear market. Every cycle that you go through should just improve you, and then this will be a lifelong skill, trading that you can have for the rest of your life. Whether you move on to Forex, whether you move on to stocks, it doesn't matter. These skills will always be there for you. And so even if, the worst does happen and crypto dies or is regulated out of existence, you never know, right? You never know. You will still have those same skills which can be applied in these other areas of these other assets and these other classes. So just moving forward, we do have just kind of this bonus take profit area here, which you can see based upon this larger Adam and Eve structure, which then has a measured move to this bonus take profit. And how can I back that up? Well, of course, I'm backing that up with also the concept of our bull flag here. So our bull flag has a measured move in the same area as that take profit 4 based upon the giant Adam and Eve structure. And so, guys, we're going to be targeting this area, and hopefully we can make at least one more bit of profit before perhaps this market ends up shorting itself. These Adam and Eve formations can, burn themselves out at a certain point, and then we'll just have to see what the chart starts printing if we're able to consolidate up here in this area or if we just, burn down, right? And a lot of that may have to do with the financial news. So that's basically it in a nutshell. That's what we're working on. Normally, I like to go through a lot of things and take up a lot of time on these videos, but I'm thinking about having a bit of a shorter, um, format going forward. Maybe an hour, half an hour is a little bit too much for people to absorb. Just briefly, I do want to give us some context, just because of course, I did develop these alpha origin channels in order to just see where we are on the charts. And as you can see, if we just zoom out, we're still in that, that historical golden zone where just generally speaking, it's never been a bad idea to be trading or, taking buys in this area. I highly recommend, based upon the macroeconomics of the world economy, that you always be selling, always be taking your profit, put food on your table, don't just collect coins. Those coins don't care about you and you shouldn't care about them. You're just here to trade and make money, right? You're not here to just collect them all, right? They're not Pokemon. So that's just your context. I do believe that we would have at least one more push down. I'm just going to see if we can just quickly go through some of these things. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this one is worthwhile just to double check on. Let's get out of log. This is the macro channel that I believe that we're in right now. Let me switch to daily. You can see how we're just kind of going back and forth on this channel, right? And sure enough, it played out. We moved all the way across. I told you guys it was going to happen. Now, here's the thing. If that bull flag does end up working out, it could actually put us above this channel. And that's an interesting concept to me because we've been in this channel for months and months, right? Almost like 3 or 4 months. And so if we are able to get out of this channel, then I really think, guys, that we have an opportunity to potentially see that area of perhaps, maybe 25 to even maybe $33,000. I mean, I could put some type of stretch goals in this area if we really are able to sit on top of this channel. So I'm going to keep you informed of that. And I just want to keep some optimism in your heart. Sometimes you never know when the bottom will come out. And depending upon the CPI data this coming week, and depending upon the Fed's decision, who knows? We may get a relief rally, and it doesn't have to last forever. You can see this rally didn't last forever, right? We basically have made a lightning bolt, And if we made another lightning bolt and then, settled down, well, maybe not negative $4,000, but if we settle down, perhaps, 16,000, 14,000, $12,000, maybe even $8,200, right? If we settle down in these areas, it really wouldn't be that unusual to have this type of Elliott wave, especially as crypto is trading so closely with stocks these days. And if stocks decide to go ahead and put in that type of a formation, then Bitcoin is just going to follow along, and that means all of crypto is going to follow along. So I think there's probably one more shakeout, like whether we pop up here and kind of fake people out, get a bunch of liquidity in the market, and then drive us, down, or perhaps double bottom or something. I'm not really sure what the final form is going to be, but I am looking forward to this market resolving itself pretty soon and then getting into an accumulation pattern, one of these spaces. So, guys, stick with me. Join the group if you can. Again, the link is in the description. Just friendly people there giving each other advice and stuff. It's free, so it's just a matter of us being able to just talk with other people in order to double check our thoughts, because you may have questioned yourself a million times as this chart went down. And so, if we're going to be the early birds, we may as well help each other out. Let's see, is there anything else that I could perhaps mention here? Yeah, we also have this kind of diagonal going on, which, is a little bit of a different beast to be thinking about. But as you can see, we did cross into it, and then we crossed it, and we came down here. And so again, like this just supports my concept that if we do break out of this macro channel, then perhaps we could get to the mid channel of this longer channel, which again is around that $28,000 area. And then perhaps we tag the bottom and then we cross it, and maybe, who knows what could happen, right? Obviously, it could take more time than that. But the whole point is, we do potentially have an opportunity to have a breakout moment here. Just be open-minded. Um, Other than that, I think that it's probably a good idea to sign off, and just that one probably doesn't matter. Let's look at. Oh, this one was just a fun one. So a while ago, I had made a radial concept around this point. I think we were back here actually, and I was saying all of these radials were pointing to this area right here. And a lot of you guys thought, well, this is like nutty. This isn't real trading. This guy can't trade, that sort of thing. Just would like to point out that we've been following the radials down. So, whenever we have these radials that have an inflection point, you end up choosing a direction. We were very hopeful it would be this kind of like upward direction, right? And we'd be able to chop up, make another, maybe maybe a little high here, maybe not an all-time high, but we were hoping to get a little bit of a run. Everybody in the market was, but it turned out that we didn't choose that direction. So what did we end up choosing? We end up stepping down these radials, and when we found our direction here, it was almost guaranteed that we were going to chop around these radials to the downside. And so, guys, like this is real trading. Some of the things that I show you are kind of weird sometimes, especially early on. I've cut a lot of that out because I found that it caused a little bit of confusion, thinking out of the box a little bit too heavily. But one thing that I would like to point out based upon this radial is that we do also have the possibility of getting up to this 25,000. Perhaps even if I just extended this a bit, perhaps even that 26, or just spiking, a little bit above that radial, and we would still be in this radial, right? So again, guys, like stay open-minded to this stuff. It's possible that we could pump. Maybe we only come up halfway or something like this, but there's a bunch of different signs that suggest that we could be due for a little bit of run if the Fed allows it, if the Federal Reserve allows it. They may not allow it. They may want to smack the market down just one more time in a capitulation, and then perhaps we work our way up, right? So, in that case, maybe there's a measured move here somewhere around like 12,000 bucks, something like that. But I'm going to leave that for another episode. That was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.